All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. I'm going to make this a quick one. I want to touch on RFK's wearables. RFK's wearables. RFK is a politician. And he's pushing these wearables. These wearables can track your blood sugar, your heart rate, see how much steps you got in, you know, and the slogan that he's using is "Make America Healthy Again." All right, and he's set to push the largest campaign to advertise everybody to wear these wearables, and he wants everybody to wear them. He says that's his vision, that everybody has a wearable on. All right. And before you know it, a decree is going to be made where these things are going to be mandatory, and it's going to quickly evolve into the microchip, all right, which is the mark of the beast. You had skeptics some time ago saying, well, why would they want to put a chip in you? You've been walking around with your cell phone, all right? You got it already in your credit card, so forth and so on. Why would they want to put a chip inside of you? So they wrote it off as conspiracy theory. But now people are seeing that, hey, they're actually pushing this. All right. And we've been saying this for years. All right. Now they're just using this as a way to gradually bring you to the mark of the beast, man, which is the microchip. Over here in America, they call it RFID. Across seas, they call it NFC. RFID, radio frequency identification device, which they have in those wearables. And near field communication, that's NFC. What they call the microchip across seas, like in Sweden, in Spain. All right. This man, David Pakman, he was one of them skeptics, but now he sees it. All right. But before he didn't. You know, everywhere you go, you got motherfuckers got that watch on. So imagine they just, you know, tell you, hey, everybody got to get this and make it mandatory. All right. Everybody already do it. Everybody got them electronic watches on, man. Anyway,
I want to discuss with you some of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s testimony yesterday. The point of looking at this is not simply about, oh, look at how wacky Donald Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services is. That's true. That makes for a perfectly interesting and fine segment, but we all know that. What is critical to understand is that there are people who are in completely over their heads and also have completely abandoned the very principles they told us matter to them. Those are the two themes to keep in mind. And yes, it's wacky, of course, but let's get into it and I think you'll see. Remember when we were warned by the MAGA right wing that the left, Democrats, the Marxists, the whatever, want to microchip us. They want to microchip for tracking purposes the people of the United States. And you had the religious people saying, this is the mark of the beast. You had the libertarians saying,
which it is the mark of the beast. It's not Christianity and Bargo sleeping with white woman or any of that shit. It's the RFID, it's the microchip. Oh, damn. Kind of did a bad turn back there. Anyway, right, it is the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right. And when you get inside of the words, Salakia. And when you get into the words, it's charagma. All right, that's the word for mark in Revelations 13:16. It's charagma. All right. And that's a physical incision in your hand. All right, that's a physical incision. And the root word to charagma is charax, which is to sharpen to a point. So this is the delivery system of this mark. You see people getting chipped already. So they're getting jabbed into the hand and they're getting chipped. And the root word to charax is grapho, which means information, which means to write. So all your information will be written down or digitally programmed on this chip. All right. So yes, that's the mark of the beast spoke about in Revelations 13:16. And these wearables are nothing but just a gradual means to that mark of the beast. This is not the mark of the beast, these wearables, but this is what's, going to lead to the mark. It's a lot. I'll just reach my destination. I'm going to pick this back up on my first break. So please bear with me. I'm going to say shalom for now. All right, Salakia, back. I'm on a plantation right now in the cafeteria, so please bear with me. But yes, he said that some said the microchip was the mark of the beast. That is the mark of the beast. All right, the microchip. All right, it's not sleeping with white women. It's not Christianity and embargo. It's not something spiritual or anything like that. When you get inside of the words, which I got into, all right, it's right there in front of your face. The answer was the mark of the beast. All right, so now we're seeing them try to make that push and gradually get you to accept it. All right, let's continue.
Government overreach. You had the conspiracy theorists saying this is the strategy of the left in order to something. I don't even really know what. And the mechanisms were, they want you wearing a microchip, these things where you put a microchip in your arm to then tap to pay. That's how they're going to trick you into it. Or they're going to trick you into it by having you get a COVID shot that then puts the
Right, getting a COVID shot is not the mark of the beast. Now, the first thing that he said, getting you to wear a device, you tap to pay, that is getting you to accept the actual chip that they want to put in your hand. It's going to be mandated. When you go to Revelations 13:16, it says, he causeth all. The causeth gets into make. All right, it's going to be mandatory. A decree is going to be made and everybody will get that mark. All right. Right now, he's just, making it digestible, if I can say it like that. Getting you used to it, wearing something, having all your information on it, down to your vital signs, to your banking information, your paycheck, all of that is on your wrist. And then, boom, some way, somehow, he's going to get that until we putting a microchip into your hand.
Microchip inside of your arm, and we very calmly explained to them, why would anyone even need to do that? We all are willingly carrying it around in the form of our mobile devices, put aside for a second that there's no evidence for it or that Bill Gates wants to do it or whatever. But we explained to them, your phone has your location, it has your communications, it has searches that expose your inner thoughts and vulnerabilities and insecurities. Why would you need to do any of that? Well, cut to yesterday. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said that in his dream vision, within just a few years, everyone will have an even more invasive version of a proverbial microchip. It will be a wearable fitness device, things like Fitbits, fitness watches, the Oura Ring, which goes on your finger, whatever, okay? Check out what he said, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the Maha agenda, making America healthy again, and we are going to. My vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Following up.
So wait a second. We're going to put, because Bobby Kennedy Jr. likes the idea, we're going to put our sleep data, our heart rate data, our movement data, how sedentary we are. We're going to put all of that in the cloud for big tech and government too to access it. That's kind of weird, because these were the very same people warning us against that when it was being done secretly, we were told, by Bill Gates and Joe Biden and Big Pharma and Obama and Democrats. It was bad then. But when it's Donald Trump's Director of Health and Human Services actually saying it, we're supposed to say, cool, that sounds really good. When this could be used by government to track us It could be used by health insurance companies to try to deny us care or raise rates and say, you don't get 10,000 steps a day. You don't even get 4,000 steps a day. You're riskier. You're only getting 5 hours of sleep a night.
Well, this microchip is going to have everything on it. It's going to be able to do all of that. And all your information will be on it. You already have people with their banking information on their microchips. All right? And they're paying for things at Walmart. They're paying for things just at the grocery stores, other grocery stores. They're logging in at work. They're clocking in. They're buying things at the food courts, at the job. All right? They're actually chipping their houses too. You know, they're gaining access. If you don't have a chip, you can't gain access to certain rooms in their house. They're already doing things like this, man. It's going to have everything on it, getting into the word grapho, which means to write down. This thing will have all your information onto it digitally. All right?
You're riskier. We're not going to insure you. All of these things, now they would be okay with because it was bullshit to begin with. That's really what's at the core of this. And by the way, wearable, you know, what about every American being able to afford their prescription drugs or not having to choose between their prescriptions and groceries or childcare 1 week, or every American has a primary care doctor, never mind is able to go and get an appointment or afford the copay. What about those as goals? But the dream of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is that we will all have wearable fitness devices. Now, I don't have a problem with these devices. I wear one, okay? I want to know how many active minutes did I get a week. I'm trying to get 150 moderate to high intensity minutes of exercise every single week. The device gives me that information. I want to make sure I'm getting 10,000 steps a day. The device gives me that information. It's not against the devices. I think the devices are useful. But absent basic, dealing with the social determinants of health, are our communities safe? What about air pollution, like Dr. Zach Rubin told us last week? What about simply, are you able to get unprocessed foods?
Well, there you have it. RFK, he wants everybody to have a wearable device in about 4 years. Could come sooner than that. All right? Because that's going to quickly evolve into you getting the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. All right? Hope it was edifying with that. Shalom.